I was dead last in my class. The system told me the only way to fix my brain and raise my grades was to bind myself to the student rank number 1 and establish physical intimacy. So, I became a simp for my toxic childhood friend, Julian. I followed him around like a lost puppy, ignoring his mockery and disgust, doing everything to please him. Then I got a new deskmate. Liam was a transfer student, already scouted by the Ivy League. He was smart, gentle, and his smile looked like the sun. He brought me breakfast every day and patiently taught me how to solve math problems. Julian hated him. He ordered me not to speak to Liam. I obeyed. Until the next mock exam results came out. My new desk mate had dethroned Julian. Liam was the new number 1. The noon heat after the mock exams was suffocating. As I walked up to the classroom to deliver porridge to Julian, I heard the boys laughing inside. Their tone was flippant, stinging my ears. Did Stella actually go buy medicine? Yeah, I just casually mentioned Julian wasn't feeling well, and she bolted. It's like 100 degrees out there, so what? She's so obsessed with Julian, if he told her to bark, she'd probably get on all fours. Actually, someone mused, Stella is pretty cute. She's got a nice face and a good temper. Someone jeered. You like her? Ask Julian to pass her to you. Julian, would you miss your little sidekick? Silence for a few seconds. Then, Julian's cold, clear voice cut through the air.
Get lost.
He sounded annoyed. The room went quiet, then someone asked hesitantly, We tricked Stella into thinking you were sick so she'd run errands in this heat. You're not mad, right? Why would I care? Julian paused, his tone indifferent, dripping with his usual disdain. If she's stupid enough to believe whatever people tell her, how is she any different from a pig? The room erupted in laughter. Someone was even pounding the desk. It was lively inside. I looked down at the porridge and medicine in my hands. Julian has a weak stomach. I've seen him pale, vomiting.
And weak.
That's why when I heard he wasn't feeling well and saw him face down on his desk, I ran to the pharmacy. Turns out I was being played. I stood there, dazed. I couldn't go back into the classroom, so I found a shaded spot to sit. I hadn't eaten lunch, and my stomach was growling. The porridge steamed, smelling savory. It smelled good. I was hungry. I figured since Julian wasn't actually sick, there was no point in going in. I might as well eat it myself. Julian is such a piece of trash. Can he even speak Hummin? The system's voice exploded in my head. It sounded like it had been holding back for a long time, gritting its virtual teeth. Stella, let's go in there and slap him. I can't take this anymore. So, what if he's number 1? Unbind. We are not serving him anymore. I was opening the lid of the porridge. I paused. Huh? Can we do that? But he's the top student. The system. It reviewed the records. Julian had indeed been number 1 on every single exam. So my binding target had never changed. The system deflated.
Fine.
Forget it, Stella. Eat first. Eating is important. As the warm food filled my stomach, the sadness from the scene upstairs finally hit me, slow and heavy. I was born with slow reactions. My emotional processing is weak. I learn things slowly and forget them quickly. That's why I've always been dead last in the rankings. It's not that I don't try, I just don't have the talent. My stupidity feels innate. Even if I do the same math problem 1,000 times, I'll forget the formula the next time I see it. Julian is different. He's been number 1 since kindergarten. The neighbor's kid, everyone compares you to. I used to envy him. How could someone be so smart? Then, in high school, I bound with the academic genius system. The system told me my intelligence was locked by some force. To unlock it and improve my grades, I had to be in close contact with the smartest person around. It called it osmosis. Before my parents died, their only wish was for me to study hard and get into a good college. I didn't want to disappoint them, so I tried my hardest. But it was useless. With my grades, community college was a stretch. So, even though I knew Julian despised me, I followed him like I did when we were kids. I became his gopher. I agreed to every demand. I ran errands, bought water, and held his umbrella. because he was my target. Julian was cold, sharp-tongued, and arrogant.
He was moody.
When he was in a bad mood, he'd say things like he did today. He called me dumb, laughed at my IQ, and called me a leech. But when he was in a good mood, he'd teach me how to solve a problem. Once, during a storm, I gave him my umbrella and prepared to run home in the rain. He grabbed me and pulled me under the canopy with him. The streetlights cast a warm yellow glow, softening his sharp features. He said, "Stella, are you an idiot? This umbrella is big enough for two." His body heat traveled through his palm into my arm. We walked side by side in the rain. I didn't know what intimacy the system required, so I just tried to be good to him. It hadn't worked much before. But that moment under the umbrella, when Julian pulled me close, my heart pounded. I felt like my brain actually cleared up. When I got home, I didn't forget what I studied. Sure enough, on the next monthly exam, I went up 10 spots. Still at the bottom, but not the bottom. I might be slow, but I understand fairness. I don't actually like Julian. He's too mean. I approached him to use him for grades. Even though the system said my borrowing his intelligence didn't hurt him, my parents taught me never to take advantage of people for free. So, I tried to repay him. And since I couldn't tell anyone about the system, I had to hide my true motive. That's why I tolerated his crew eye to eye. But today was different. I went to buy medicine because I was worried about him. When I ran out of the school gates, I wasn't thinking about him as a target. I thought of him as a friend. I couldn't watch a friend suffer. When we were kids, he used to look at me with disgust and say, "You're as dumb as a pig." I don't make friends with pigs. So I stayed away. When he shared his umbrella, I thought we were friends again.
But it was just me thinking that.
I didn't need the system to tell me. He said those things today because he doesn't see me as a friend. Julian has never changed. After finishing the porridge, I headed back to the classroom. Most students were napping, but Julian was sitting there, staring into space. He looked annoyed. His brows were furrowed, only relaxing slightly when he saw me. He lowered his voice. "Where did you go?" I told the truth. "I went to buy something." His brows smoothed out more. He huffed lightly. "Where's the porridge and medicine?" I looked at him. I really wanted to ask, "You weren't sick, so why are you asking for it?" But it felt unnecessary. Compared to the system's rage, I felt calm. Because I just didn't care that much anymore. Julian isn't my friend. No matter how mean he is, I won't get angry. As long as he's number one, I'll keep following him to fix my grades. My reactions are slow. I don't process hurt quickly. The sadness from earlier had already blown away with the wind. "I ate it," I said earnestly. "I'll buy it again next time you actually need it." He looked stunned. His eyes darkened, and he looked like he wanted to say something, but stopped. As I walked past him, he said stiffly, "Stella, I want breakfast from Golden Lotus Dim Sum tomorrow." Golden Lotus is a super popular spot. I'd have to wake up at 5 a.m. to queue. The system was grinding its teeth. "Stella, don't debase yourself. Let him starve. Buy him breakfast?" I say pour boiling water on him. We don't need him. We'll become geniuses on our own. Me, a genius? I didn't want to crush the system's spirit, so I comforted it. "It's okay. I like Golden Lotus too. I can buy some for myself." When I got to my desk, I saw that the desk next to mine was dusty. I took out a wet wipe and cleaned it. Julian turned around, saw this, and sneered. "Doing useless things every day. No wonder you fail every exam. If you spent this time on 2 math problems, maybe you'd get a pity point." I didn't understand why he was mad again, but I just gave a soft, "Oh." The system was furious. He refuses to sit next to you, but gets mad when someone else does? He's just jealous because the other guy got scouted by a top university. I didn't used to have a desk mate. Liam, the transfer student, arrived this semester. He wore a mask, but his eyes were beautiful. On his first day, he smiled and asked if he could sit next to me. He was smart and gentle. He patiently explained questions and never called me stupid. But he seemed sickly. He always wore a mask, coughed often, and had a raspy voice. I did his cleaning duty once, and he brought me breakfast for a whole week. Liam Shubai. Even his name sounded nice. Julian hated him. Every time he saw me talking to Liam, his face looked stormy. Finally, one day, he ordered me to stay away from Liam. I asked why. Julian said no reason, and asked if I still wanted to study with him. I had to agree. I tossed and turned all night, not knowing how to tell Liam. It was the first friend I'd made in a long time. Luckily, I didn't have to be mean. Liam stopped coming to school after that day. The teacher said Liam had secured his college spot and was busy with other things. Liam was a genius on the same level as Julian. Maybe geniuses just naturally repel each other. Julian looked at me, his tone cold but casual. Stella, about you wanting to be my desk mate.
I thought about it. As long as you don't annoy me, it's fine.
When the rankings come out tomorrow, go tell the teacher to move you next to me.
I didn't speak.
I felt much happier sitting next to Liam than Julian. But Liam wasn't coming back. Tomorrow, the results would come out, and Julian would still be number one. The college entrance exam, Gaokao, is coming. I have to get into college. I lowered my eyes and gave a soft results day. I woke up early to queue at Golden Lotus. I walked into school carrying the bags, still half asleep. The bulletin board had just been updated.
Only a few people were there.
As I walked over, a voice like a clear spring stream sounded beside me. Good morning, Stella. I turned. A tall, bamboo-straight figure stood there. The boy looked down at me with a smile, making even the ugly school uniform look high fashion. His face was unforgettable, but I felt like I'd never seen him before. Then I met those beautiful eyes. I hesitated. Liam? Yeah, he said. Long time no see. I was happy. Did you come back to school? Finish my business, he said nonchalantly, stopping beside me. His smile was bright, like a summer breeze. So, I came back a couple of days ago to take the exam. The crowd around the bulletin board grew loud. Holy crap! Someone screamed. The number one spot isn't Julian anymore. Who is Liam Shubai? 718 points. Is he human? He beat Julian by like 20 points.
Liam?
The transfer student? I think I saw him during the test. 3 years, and Julian finally lost the top spot. The noise grew louder. My eyes grew wider. I looked at the handsome youth standing before me, stunned. You're the class rank 1. Oh my god. Stella. We don't have to look at Julian's stank face anymore. The system screamed in my brain. Switch binding. Switch binding. Processing now. I stared at Liam blankly. If there isn't someone else with my name, then I guess so, Liam said casually, changing the subject. It's still early. Want to go to the cafeteria for breakfast? Breakfast? I looked down instantly at the shrimp dumplings and scallop porridge in my hand. The aroma was amazing. Better than the cafeteria. Do you eat this? Without hesitation, I held up the plastic bag.
Here.
Let's eat together. Really? He looked surprised, then his eyes curved into crescents. Then I'll bring you breakfast tomorrow. Deal? Julian had never said anything like that to me. He never brought me breakfast. I didn't know how to react, but something deep inside me cracked open, and a warm feeling sprouted from the fissure, spreading through my limbs. The system eagerly displayed a holographic screen. Please confirm switch. Target Julian Su changed to target Liam Shubai. In my heart, I whispered, confirm. It was done. I looked at Liam, pursed my lips, and smiled. Stella. A familiar voice rang out. I turned. A group of boys stood behind me, the same ones who were laughing yesterday. In the center, Julian stood with a face dark as thunder. He must have been watching for a while. He stared at the breakfast I was handing to Liam. He pulled the corners of his mouth into a sneer and commanded, come here. In the past, I did whatever he asked, even when I didn't want to. But Julian never cared about what I wanted. I shook my head. I'm going to eat breakfast. Julian looked incredulous. It was like he couldn't process me rejecting him. But quickly, he reverted to form. Looking down at me, his voice cold and threatening. Stella. I won't say it a second time. Last time he used this tone, he ignored me for 2 weeks and threw all my gifts in the trash. He knows I've always been afraid of him ignoring me. It always works. People were watching. I swallowed my words, turned my back to him, and looked at Liam. Let's go. In that moment, the certainty in Julian's eyes shattered. He instinctively took a step forward, like he wanted to grab me. But he stopped. He looked at me for a few seconds, then turned and walked away without a word. The shrimp dumplings were delicious. The seafood porridge was fresh. On the way back to the classroom, Liam asked, "Did you fight with your friend?" I nodded, thought about it, then shook my head. One-sided friendship isn't friendship. Besides, I don't consider him a friend anymore. Liam looked thoughtful.
Did it
Have anything to do with me? I shook my head vigorously.
No.
Julian always has reasons to be unhappy. This time, it was probably because I didn't give him breakfast. It had nothing to do with Liam. That's good, he said. Then asked, "You looked unhappy this morning. Are you feeling better?" Was I unhappy? I thought about it, my voice getting quiet. Because the exam results came out. Out of 54 students, I was ranked 41st. And that was after studying every night. Would Liam, like Julian, look at me with cold disdain? My fingers curled in. "It's okay, Stella," the system comforted me. "You're actually very smart, you were just locked. Don't listen to anyone else. If Liam laughs at you, just..." Before it could finish, Liam spoke.
I saw.
"You improved a lot since last time," he said, tilting his head to look at me. His dark eyes were full of a sincere, warm smile, like a spring breeze. "Let's study together next time. Maybe we can improve even more. Is that okay?" "Why wouldn't it be?" he asked back. "But can you promise me one thing first?" I was confused. "What?" With his back to the homeroom teacher, he pulled out his phone, contraband, and shook it slightly, lowering his voice. "I ate your breakfast today. Please accept my payment." I wanted to say no, but meeting his eyes, I stopped. Liam had eyes that made it impossible to refuse him. I hesitated for a few seconds, then gave a small nod. The boy stood tall, grinning at me. It felt like winter melting into spring. Liam's return caused waves. He was the sudden #1 scholar, returned after a long absence, and crushed the scoreboard. Students from other classes came by to peek at him. He didn't seem affected. He must be used to it. Coming back from the restroom, I heard girls in the hallway discussing him. "Liam is so handsome." I didn't notice when he wore a mask. Rank 1 and Rank 2 are both in our class. The teacher must be thrilled. "He looks like an anime protagonist." I still think Julian is hotter. Different vibes. You just read too many CEO novels and like the cold type. Liam looks approachable. Unlike Julian, who always looks like he wants to kill someone. One girl saw me and pulled me over. "Stella, who do you think is more handsome?" "Julian is your childhood friend. You must think he's hotter, right?" "But Liam is her desk mate. She sees him up close," they argued, then looked at me. "Stella." I hesitated. I don't care much about looks. And I didn't want to compare them. Seeing my silence, one girl laughed. "Stop grilling her. Everyone knows she likes Julian. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Dash." "No," I interrupted urgently. I said it again seriously. "I do not like Julian. Julian found me annoying. He never wanted to be associated with me. I only followed him for my own purpose. Now that I have switched targets, I can finally stay away from him as he wished. This should be a relief for him." The girls froze. They looked straight behind me. I followed their gaze. Julian was standing right there, expressionless. Mockery, darkness, a face like still water. He looked like he wanted to say something, waiting for something, staring at me. But I had nothing to say to him. So I stepped back, giving him room to pass. Seconds later, Julian walked past me without a glance. For the whole week he acted like this, drawing a clear line. Since the grades came out, we hadn't spoken a word. The atmosphere was icy whenever he appeared, so the girls scattered awkwardly. "I hate people who posture," the system grumbled. "Walking around with a debt collector face. Being handsome is wasted on him." Seeing me motionless, it asked with concern. Stella, what's wrong? I snapped back. Nothing. It just felt weird. Julian hates me. Shouldn't he be happy to hear I don't like him? Why did he look even angrier? I didn't think about it for long. At my desk, Liam was focused on writing something. The noise around him didn't touch him. He sat quietly, his profile cut by the sunlight, back straight. Noticing my gaze, Liam looked up. He seemed surprised, raised an eyebrow, then smiled. I felt a sudden urge to run away. When I sat down, I realized my ears were hot, and my heart was beating faster. Before I could process it, Liam slid a notebook over. Look, he said. These are the wrong answers from your homework yesterday. I wrote out 3 different ways to solve each type. I recommend method 1. I marked it. I also listed the concepts for each method so you can review. Since he came back, he has studied with me every day. I felt bad, but Liam said he had too much free time and was happy to help. Looking at the detailed, neat notebook, my heart was filled with a strange emotion. Sour and full. I couldn't speak for a moment. Finally, I whispered, "This is too much trouble for you." "Actually, I'm troubling you," Liam said, looking down with a hint of nervousness. "I took a tutoring job, but I have no experience. Do you mind being my student so I can practice?" "Of course not," I said immediately. "As long as you don't think I'm too dumb." "I'm afraid I won't teach you well," Liam said. "Because you are much smarter than the student I'm going to teach." I froze, eyes wide. First time someone called me smart. I thought he was lying to make me happy, but looking into his clean, clear eyes, I took it back. Someone as sincere as Liam wouldn't lie. "Yes, Stella. Liam's energy is way stronger than Julian's. Your wisdom is unlocking much faster." The system confirmed it. I did feel like problems were easier lately, but getting validation made me incredibly happy. My eyes curved into a smile. "Really?" Liam stared at me, zoning out. Only for a second or two. He came back, coughed lightly, and his hand on the table moved. He reached out and patted my head. "Of course it's real," he said. "Don't you trust me?" His warm fingertips touched my forehead and pulled away. In that instant, the system screams, the whispers in front, the laughing behind. It all faded into background noise. The world brightened, washed clean. Liam looked like an immortal, like the sun. Weird metaphors flooded my brain. Crash. A loud noise snapped me out of the trance. Gasps erupted. "Are you okay? Why did you drop your cup? Is Julian okay? Hey, he's bleeding. Go to the infirmary." I turned. Julian had smashed his glass cup. He was looking at the shards, expression cold, eyes unreadable. His hand was cut and bleeding. The boy next to him looked around, saw me, and lit up. "Hey, Stella. Julian's hurt. Take him to the nurse." Julian looked at me. He didn't object. Why me? I was confused, but I rejected it directly. "You take him. I don't have time." The boy's face froze. He looked at me, then at Julian, awkward. I turned back around, ignoring it. Rank 1 Liam patted my head. I felt smarter. I need to study to verify this. I forgot everyone and buried my head in Liam's notebook. When I didn't understand something, Liam explained it. Calm, organized. The room was noisy. I couldn't hear well, so I leaned closer. I didn't notice his slight pause. Solving a problem gave me a rush I'd never felt before. Excited, I looked up and saw that the tips of his ears were red. I got nervous. "Is it too hot today? I'll bring a small fan tomorrow." Liam reacted slowly. A long pause before he said, "Okay." His ears got redder. Liam really hates the heat. Before the next exam, I was called to the teacher's office. The homeroom teacher asked kindly, "Stella, how is your studying going?" Usually teachers are frustrated with bad students. But my teachers only encouraged me. I was honest. Pretty good. Aside from being tired, the feeling of absorbing knowledge and not forgetting it was amazing. I was happy every day. "Did you mention wanting to change seats before?" "I've thought about it and I'm going to move you," the teacher said gravely. "Stella, People are different. Some kids have a bright future secured and can relax. But you're different. You have a hard race to run. I know you work hard, and I don't want your efforts wasted, do you understand? Her eyes held genuine worry. At first, I was confused. Then I realized. She thought Liam and I were dating. But my relationship with Liam was less intimate than with Julian before. We just studied. Why did she think that? Someone must have told her. Liam is the smartest, kindest person. I couldn't let anyone misunderstand him, even if we stopped being desk mates. The solution was simple. Tell her I'd improve drastically on this exam. But I wanted to know who lied. Teacher, who will I sit next to? You and Julian grew up together, right? He volunteered to start a study group and made a plan specifically for his members. He already added you. You'll sit with him. Julian. He snitched. Ridiculous. It was gym class. Walking out of the office, I saw Julian standing in front of Liam, saying something. Liam's expression was bland. The smile he always wore was cooling down. He looked unhappy. Julian squinted, looking scornful. I rushed over and stood in front of Liam, guarding him. I glared at Julian. What are you doing? Julian froze. He looked at me, tense and defensive, with shock. He twitched his lips, trying to smile, but failed. He asked darkly, "What can I do?" I glanced at Liam behind me and said to Julian, "Let's talk." Liam frowned slightly. Seeing my expression, he sighed softly. "I'll go inside first." Julian and I went to the rooftop in silence. You went to the office to tattle, spreading vague rumors, I said directly. Julian, why? Rumors. He laughed coldly. Ask yourself, are they rumors? His anger confused me. What does it have to do with you, Stella? Julian looked like he'd reached his limit. Are you done throwing a tantrum? Me. You got close to Liam. You ignored me on purpose, just to piss me off, right? Julian said, frustrated. I admit you succeeded. But there's a limit. Me. His words were becoming unintelligible. If you want an apology for the porridge thing, fine, he said awkwardly. But after this, you cut ties with Liam completely. I won't be so impatient with you anymore, Wait, what are you talking about? He was getting more ridiculous. Mentioning Liam crossed my line. I've always had good patience, but I interrupted him. Julian, Liam is my desk mate. He helps me. You and I are just classmates. What right do you have to control my friends? I'm not trying to piss you off. You find me annoying, so I stopped following you. I won't listen to you anymore. Can't we just ignore each other like before? Julian's expression shifted as I spoke. Just classmates. He looked incredulous. You say we're just classmates? Everyone knows you like me, dash. I don't like you. I looked at him. Julian, I don't like you at all. Like, was a hard emotion for the old me to grasp. But I knew I didn't like him. I only wavered for a second that rainy night. I thought he treated me as a friend. But he did, one. That's all. Julian looked at me blankly. Shocked. I let him look. He scrutinized my face, looking for a lie. There was none. He laughed suddenly, cold as ice. Do you like Liam? My heart tightened. Denial was on the tip of my tongue. But Julian seemed to find the answer in my eyes. He asked, word by word, Stella, we've known each other for 10 years. Liam just showed up and now he's all you see? All these years, day and night, you followed me. Once I got used to you, you walked away, without mercy. Is that fair? Birds flew off the roof, startled by his scream. Tell me, is that fair? Is it fair to me? I looked at him quietly for a long time. The old, dense, powerless sadness crept up like deep water, suffocating me. I said, Julian, that wasn't day and night. Thank God, I didn't care about him that much. We grew up together. When we were small, you thought I was dumb and troublesome. You didn't want to play with me. During hide and seek, you told me to hide in the abandoned shed and wait. I waited all day. You never came. The security guard found me crying. When we got older, you were the smartest kid. You didn't want a dumb friend. You told people I was stupid, that pigs were smarter than me. Older still, you got mad at me constantly. Once, you ignored me for 2 weeks, then texted me to pick you up at the KTV. I thought you forgave me. I waited there all night. You told me the next day your friend sent it as a joke. What I like to eat doesn't matter. What I want to do doesn't matter. You use words to hurt me whenever you want, order me to cut off friends, order me to do things I don't want to do. When I was little and dumb, no matter how many times he hurt me, if he smiled, I played with him. When I got older, I distanced myself. But my parents died, and his mom was kind to me. Out of gratitude, I did what Julian wanted. In high school, he was my target. I wanted to fulfill my parents' wish. I wanted to be smart. So I obeyed and followed him. I spoke slowly, calmly. Julian, you never gave me respect or equality. You're smart, you're great. Even if you thought I liked you, you trampled on my feelings. I'm not a person to you. Companionship is mutual, but we were never together. It was always just me, walking behind you. Julian's face turned whiter and whiter until it was paper pale. He looked at me. He wanted to argue, but couldn't make a sound. I whispered, "We've known each other for 10 years. But we aren't even friends. Not before. Not now. Not ever." I opened the door and walked down without looking back. Someone was leaning against the wall by the stairs, reading. He looked up at the sound.
He smiled at me.
Spring doesn't matter. You use words to hurt me whenever you want, order me to cut off friends, order me to do things I don't want to do. When I was little and dumb, no matter how many times he hurt me, if he smiled, I played with him. When I got older, I distanced myself. But my parents died, and his mom was kind to me. Out of gratitude, I did what Julian wanted. In high school, he was my target. I wanted to fulfill my parents' wish. I wanted to be smart. So I obeyed and followed him. I spoke slowly, calmly. Julian, you never gave me respect or equality. You're smart, you're great. Even if you thought I liked you, you trampled on my feelings. I'm not a person to you. Companionship is mutual, but we were never together. It was always just me, walking behind you. Julian's face turned whiter and whiter until it was paper pale.
He looked at me.
He wanted to argue, but couldn't make a sound. I whispered, "We've known each other for 10 years. But we aren't even friends. Not before.
Not now.
Not ever." I opened the door and walked down without looking back. Someone was leaning against the wall by the stairs, reading. He looked up at the sound.
He smiled at me.
Spring recovery. Bright and clear. My chest felt tight. The denial I didn't say on the roof was buried, becoming a secret I couldn't speak. I said, "Liam, you waited for me." I just went to the teacher. He closed his book casually. The class is starting study groups. The leader makes the plan. I applied for one. I thought about it. Who's in our group? Liam thought for a few seconds, sounding helpless. Unfortunately, I'm not capable enough. Tentatively. Only you. I try to hide it, but a smile spilled out of my dimples. My tone was light. I won't embarrass the leader on the exam tomorrow. It must be the heat. His ears were red again. Liam reached out and patted my head. A quick touch. He said, "You never embarrass anyone." The monthly exam results came out. For the first time, I was in the top half of the class. Not counting from the bottom, but from the top. The teacher praised me in front of everyone. The seat change was forgotten. The system told me my wisdom was now at a normal level. Even without getting close to number one, I could get into college if I worked hard. I decided that if I ever had to switch back to Julian, I wouldn't use the cheat. I'd rely on myself. But Liam was still number one by a landslide. Higher than last time. I finally believed his rusty comment wasn't a humble brag. In contrast, Julian dropped to 19th. A free fall. The teacher talked to him. Next exam, he was back to number 2. I wasn't surprised. I didn't care. Julian stopped coming to me. Occasionally, he stared at my desk, looking away when I caught him. We went back to ignoring each other. Senior year is tight. Everyone worked hard, except the relaxed Liam. I knew Liam didn't need to be here. But I also knew that if Liam took the Gaokao, the school would get another top score. Maybe a provincial champion. He was winning glory for the school. No one stopped him. So, he read college textbooks in class, and teachers just asked about his health. Besides Liam, I felt myself getting smarter, so I worked harder. One day, I studied too late and fell asleep on my desk during morning study. I woke up with a school jacket over me. Liam was watching me. Focused. A beautiful curve to his lips. I stared at him blankly. Before I could react, he seemed to snap out of it, stood up saying getting water, and walked away faster than usual. The system tattled. Liam stared at that page for 30 minutes. He was peeking at you. I was still looking at his straight back. The breeze loved him, lifting a lock of black hair, golden light dancing in it. I zoned out. The system sounded smug. See? Few people in this world lack taste. Liking our Stella is just human nature. I snapped back. System, don't talk nonsense. Fine, fine. It huffed. Let's see if he says it after graduation. I process emotions slowly, so until this moment, the racing heart and burning heat didn't hit me. I didn't know how to react. A cool breeze hit my face. Liam returned with water, the panic gone. He held a small fan to my face, worried. Is it too hot? I wanted to say no, but the words felt familiar. Liam picked the fan. The blades looked like a four-leaf clover, spinning around a star. We sat side by side in the quiet classroom, the fan whirring. No one spoke, but time seemed to stretch forever. The day I broke into the top 100, Julian's mom invited me to dinner. Auntie Liang raised Julian alone. Our families were neighbors. The adults were busy, relationships distant. But she was warm on the inside. Since my parents died, she has looked out for me. This was the first time Julian and I had sat at the same table since the fight. Auntie saw something was wrong, but said nothing. When Julian took out the trash, she sighed. Stella, Julian says you're improving a lot. I hope you get into your dream school. I thanked her seriously. She added, I hope you live happily and freely. She made Julian walk me home. We walked in silence, one after the other. I didn't know what to say in the past. He wasn't interested in what I said. He laughed at me. An old man dropped a bag of oranges on the road. I helped pick them up. Julian helped too. He suddenly spoke. I remember once, you saw a girl crying at the station. She said she lost her ticket money. She asked everyone for help. A clumsy scam, Julian had thought. No one cared about the crying girl in the snow except Stella, who ran over and lent her money like an idiot. He thought she was hopelessly stupid. That useless kindness would only hurt her. Julian said, Actually, I went back that year. That girl was at the station every day. She was a local. The old man thanked us profusely and gave me a round orange. I held the orange. That's good. She wasn't stranded. Julian fell silent. A long time later, he said, I'm sorry. Long ago, a bullet of arrogance aimed at Julian's heart. He could have changed its trajectory countless times. But he stood there, watching the bullet pierce his heart, leaving him bloody and broken. He cherished her. He wanted to protect her. But he thought she was slow. Her kindness was clumsy. She needed to learn a lesson. He chose to command her, bind her and lock her by his side to do what he thought was right. He thought she was dumb, unable to do anything right, so she should just listen to him to stay safe. But if he had been gentler, honest, respectful, would they be strangers with nothing to say today? Julian remembered their childhood. It felt like a past life. He looked at me. I'm sorry. Regret and pain tortured him, reminding him of his absurdity. After Stella left, he realized how important she was. Like a miser who handed over his gold with his own hands, regretting it every night. He said sorry many, many times. I only said it once. It's okay. I forgave him easily. Don't be like that in the future. Because I stopped caring a long time ago. Someone was waiting for me under the streetlight ahead. Liam. My eyes lit up. I ran to him. Did you wait long? He shook his head. His dark eyes reflected the light, like a winter sun. Just got here. Let's go, I whispered. I saved room for barbecue. Roger. He leaned in, thinking. Wanna walk and digest first? We can memorize vocab. Okay. I looked up at Liam, eyes curving, trying to hide my joy. Liam is the best person I've ever met. I secretly changed his contact icon to a sun. To me, he isn't autumn. He is spring. Last mock exam, I was 11th in the grade. I improved every day for a year. My rise from dead last became a miracle at North High. Students from other classes came to see me, bowing for luck. I still worked hard. Before, hard work showed no results. Now that I'm smarter, I cherish the ability to learn. The system was too scared to talk to me, just checking my health daily. The Gaokao arrived. After estimating my score, the SYSDM sighed, sounding teary. Stella, you worked so hard. I went to the mountain to see my parents. I placed fresh calla lilies on their grave. I talked to them for a long time. Finally, I touched their smiling photos. Mom, Dad, I can go to a good college. I fulfilled your wish. The system was silent for a long time. They can hear you. And I will always be with you. I smiled. That's enough. The genius system has a secret. This world is a book. There was a girl. She was the male lead's white moonlight first love. So she was kind, beautiful, overly pure, and died young. The creator gave her a pure heart but locked her intelligence. Because he was a romantic god. In his story, the girl only unlocks her mind by getting close to the lucky male lead. Sadly, the story went that they drifted apart, and without the male lead's luck protecting her, the girl was doomed to die young. Years later, the male lead would realize what he lost. But the characters grew flesh and blood. God's will couldn't lock mortal emotions. A pair of ordinary parents, devastated after their daughter's death, found the truth of the world. They used their last consciousness, burning their souls as fuel, to bring a chaotic intelligence back to the past. That day, the chaotic intelligence looked at its dear daughter. It said, "Hi, Stella. Everything has a spirit." The girl with the pure heart gave much kindness to the world. So the world wanted to pay her back. The system was surprised to find the world's luck flowing in a different direction. Some people are favored by the world, but doomed by the creator. There was a dying life, a flame about to go out. But one day, a variable appeared. The girl who gave her umbrella to the male lead found a wet stray on the roadside. She took off her coat. She left her umbrella. She placed warm milk beside him and asked if he needed help. She did too many good deeds. She forgot him. The system knew from the start. That boy outside the plot came to repay a debt. He was supposed to die. He gave her all his luck without hesitation. The variable shifted again. The male lead was disqualified. Actively disqualified, his luck split. So the dying boy and the doomed girl became people with undefined fates. The romantic god was curious. He said, "Bet accepted. Mortal love can move mountains and cross time. There are too many variables." The extinguished fire wanted to burn himself out to be the sun in her dark dream. So he broke the rules once. He took a fresh calla lily from where the girl was and sent it to the parents. That intelligence will hold part of my power. Eternal. It will stay with her in your place. The book is collapsing. I will return their freedom. In exchange, watch the ending with me. They said through tears, "Okay. My Stella, study hard. Get into a good college, because only then can we be sure you walked out of your ending." The answer is in the books. Maybe in the distant future, you can cross time and space, cross the gap of life and death, and hold our hands again. We miss you. The day scores came out. I sat with Liam Shubai. The small fan word. I was nervous. Liam was nervous too. Even the system was rare silent. One subject. 2, 3. When the final score appeared, the system's cheer hit my ears first. "Stella, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you." "Congrats," Liam exhaled, looking at me. His dark, pretty eyes were full of bright laughter. "You did it." I react slowly. So the denial buried in my heart, the one I couldn't say before, finally broke free to confront me. "Do you like Liam?" I didn't. Liar. I didn't dare. And now? Can I like him now? Why not? I like him. I was nervous, but I said firmly, "Liam." He looked at me, gaze gentle. My cheeks burned. He waited patiently. I blurted out, I want to go to the same university as you. As soon as I said it, I felt silly. Okay, this score is enough, Liam said lightly. He reached out and held my hand. He smelled like laundry detergent, clean and fresh. My pounding heart calmed down, only to explode at his next words. Stella, Liam whispered, I like you if I add adverbs to like. Very, extremely, especially, none are enough. I didn't know what I was saying. Then, how do you describe it? Liam answered without hesitation. I like Stella likes this world. In his eyes, Stella is the world's treasure. He is part of the world, lucky enough to be favored. As much as she likes the world, he likes her. I stared at Liam. I reached out and hugged him. I heard his heart, faster than mine. I wanted to find a metaphor to describe my life. Liam, I like you too. He hugged me tight, listening quietly. I like Liam more than I like tomorrow. I look forward to tomorrow. To clear skies. Things are getting better. To the sun. The sun belongs to tomorrow. But Liam belongs to me. Liam is my own personal sun. He appeared today, clearing the clouds. He walks with me into tomorrow. And so, my world is filled with light. Yendi.